All right, students, welcome to week 2. This week's going to be another easy week. This week you're going to watch this lesson video that you're watching right now. You're going to complete the Networking Academy Part 1, Module 1, and you're going to download and install PyCharm, the Community Edition, and it's free. The way I like to do this is I right-click and open a new tab on the Networking Academy, and it just brings you to this link. And then when you click on the link, and take it to Networking Academy. That way you can have it open in both tabs. I'm working in Firefox, so it should be similar in any other browser. Do it however you want. That's how I do it. And then make sure you log in. Yours will probably look a little different than mine. Launch the course. And you should have already seen this if you've logged in last week. Module 1 is right here. Make sure that you do your terms and condition to start the course, and you can read the course curriculum and all that, but that's not necessary. Module 1 is here. I do want to I need you to take note that the Module 1 test is right here. For every module, there's a test, and it is outside of the lesson. So as you'll see, if I go in here to Module 1, and there's all the good stuff in here. There's a little menu sidebar so you can kind of go through stuff. Module 1 just kind of talks about what programming is, what the computer does, and that kind of stuff. There isn't any actual programming yet this week. And you can use the thing. You'll see at the end of each module, there is a quiz. And if you're just going through the module, as you hit your next buttons and everything, you'll get to this page where it says, congratulations, you completed Module 1. If you hit over one more time, it will take you to the Module 1 quiz. The quizzes are not graded in this course. I encourage you to take them because it will help you prepare for the test. But in order to get to the test, you have to go back to your outline and go to the Module 1 test. And at every class, there's issues with people doing the quiz instead of the test. That's why I'm laying this out for you real simple. Do the test, not the quiz. Or do both. So that will be lesson 1. Again, super simple. Nothing really to submit, but go through that. Except for so I got quiz up here. It's listed as a quiz. Totally confusing, I know. But it is the Module 1 test. So do the test. Your assignment will be done using PyCharm. So go here to this link. Again, I like to open it in a new tab just so I don't lose what I'm already working with. Click the link and it will download the PyCharm for you. If you can see, I don't know how well you can see my screen, but it's downloading the PyCharm Community Edition. When it finishes, you can see it's 2023.2.1. 2023.2.1. And that is the newest one. Just open that up, fire it up, and install it like any other program. You will need to note where it installs and what it's doing. So yours will probably look different than mine. I've not yet installed this version, but I've had several versions of PyCharm on my computer. So you click next. So this is going to make me uninstall a previous version, which is fine. If you've never had PyCharm, you won't do this. So I'm going to go ahead and uninstall that and use this new version that we're going to use this week. What the heck? I'll just start from scratch. Yours probably won't do this, but mine's going to go through and delete the old version and install the new version. Once that's done, it'll ask you where do you want to install it. So the default location is going to be in Program Files, JetBrains, PyCharm Community Edition, and the version number. I'm going to leave it as default. Click Next. I will I'll put a desktop shortcut. Definitely click this Add Bin Folder to Path. That will allow you to use command line functions and create associations. So at least click those 3 check marks. If you want to add open folder as project, you can do that too. That's just the context. You know what? Check all the buttons. Start menu folder, be JetBrains, install, and let it do its thing. Hopefully that won't take too long depending on your computer. And I will come back when that finishes. All right, we come back after the bar goes all the way across and you get this screen. It says it has to be rebooted in order to work correctly, so you can either reboot now or reboot manually later. I've got too many things open at the moment, so I'm just going to do later. You may want to do now and come back. The next thing that we need to do is make sure that we have Python installed. Now, I'm pretty sure that PyCharm gives you a version of Python, but I'm not sure where it puts it. The easiest thing to do, just for you guys if you're new to this whole thing, is go back to the lesson, and underneath the PyCharm link, there's a download for Python 3.11.5. It's the newest version of Python, newest stable version of Python. So if you click that link and click the download link, it'll take you here. Just go to downloads and download Python 3.11.5. Take note that all versions of Python after 3.9 do not work on Windows 7 or earlier machines. If you have a Mac OS, obviously you'd click here and get 3.11.5 for Mac, stable release, so we know it works. If you have a Linux computer or all these other things, alternate path on Python, I don't think anybody has one of those, but if you're using one, then there's the stuff. Download the Windows. When that downloads, didn't I already download it? Maybe I didn't. All right, download Python 3.11, and then when that finishes, click on it, let it run. We're going to install Python 3.11.5. Again, I have got several versions of Python on here. You're going to really need to pay attention to where you install this, because this is going to be your interpreter for PyCharm. I'm going to do a custom installation. I'm going to install all the document. We want to make sure that pip is installed. We want TCL, TK, and idle. That's Kinter, and idle is the IDE, or Integrated Development Environment, that Python gives you. We're going to use PyCharm, which is an IDE as well, that I just think is better. We're going to install the standard library test suite and the PyLaunchers for all users that require admin privileges. So all these are checked. Click next. I don't know why it won't let me click that button, but it's going to associate the Py files. So PyCharm's extension, or Python's extension for a file, is .py, and that will open in either PyCharm or idle, and then we can code it and change it. I'm creating shortcuts. I'm adding a Python to the environment variables. Don't need the debug tools or any of that stuff. And then here you can customize your location. What I'm going to do to make it easy, and it's probably good for you too, is I'm just going to go to the root of the C drive, if I can find it, just on the C drive, and then I'm going to create a new folder. See, I've got 310 here. I'm going to make a new folder, Python 3.11, and that's where I'm going to put it. So it's right on the root of C. The path is real short. I know where it is, and that way it's easy to find. I'm going to make sure that is selected, Python 3.11, and I'm going to hit OK. And that's where it's going to install. Click install, and it's going to put Python on the root of the C drive at a short path. Okay, once it's successful, you can disable the path limit if you want to. It's not really necessary. I don't think you're going to have you're not going to have a really long path, especially since we put it on the root of C. So close that. We can close the tab for Python. We can close the tab for the quiz. I don't need that anymore. and then go to your start menu. If you've already started, it should work perfectly. I have not, so we'll see what happens. But just go to your start menu, find PyCharm, and start it. And you should have something that looks like this. I have, like I said, I've been using PyCharm for a while, so I have got all kinds of extra stuff open. You probably won't see any of this. So what we're going to do here, go to File, start a new project. I'm going to name this one 2023 Fall Python. And I don't know what yours is going to look like. Again, I've had several versions of this on my system, but you will have to configure an interpreter to read the code. So we're going to create a new environment, and this is going to be, this location is going to be where that environment lives. If you want to, again, keep it simple, I'm going to leave mine where it is on the D drive. If you want to create a new folder for your Python environment, you can go to the C drive and make another folder for a virtual environment right next to the Python 3.11, so you know where it is and know where it goes. So if you were going to do that, you'd go to the C drive. There's no way to create a new folder, so I guess you'd have to go in here. Just go to your C drive and create a new folder, Python environment. And this will be the environment that your stuff works in. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to leave mine on another drive. So let me cancel. Let me cancel and start over. New project. 2023 Fall Python. So my stuff is going to go into a folder on my D drive because it's extra storage, so I don't clog up my C drive. The base interpreter here is going to be what we just installed, Python. So go to your C drive, Python 11, and select the python.exe, not the Python W, but the python.exe, and select OK. So this is the location where your environment will live, and this is the base interpreter that it's going to use. And click Create. I'm going to open the project in this window. And there we go. We have a new project. Now, this week's assignment is super simple. I really just want you to familiarize yourself with this PyCharm. My video's lagging. So go to File, open a new Scratch file, and select Python from this list. And in here, you're just going to type print, parentheses, quotation marks, hello world. And that's all the coding you're going to do. So from here, this is a Scratch file, and I think this will let you run. Yeah, right. Run Scratch 13, and this is Scratch 13 because I got a bunch of other Scratch files. So if you click this little button up here in the gutter, it should run it, and the console will pop up. And this is down here is called the console. We can see which program ran, the output of that program, and then that the process finished. So if you can take a screenshot of this and send it to me, that's this week's assignment. That's it. Poke around in here, figure out what the buttons do or whatever, but learn this because this is where we're going to spend a lot of time this semester. And this is an IDE, an integrated development environment for Python called PyCharm. And that's it. Hopefully I described this good enough for you. If not, send me an email. I'm always open to email, always willing to help. So if you need anything, let me know. Thanks.